video, we're going to talk about how to use pictures to show how to organize objects, and we're going to talk about the expanded form for numbers and place value in the base 10 format. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to draw pictures to show how to organize objects. So here I have like a 32 toothpicks, so each one of these little lines represents a toothpick, and there's 32 of them. And see what I did in order to organize these, what maybe you would do if I just threw these on your desk and asked you to put them into some kind of a order, is maybe bundle them into groups of 10. So here I have one group of 10, here I have another group of 10, here I have a third group of 10, and then you have 2 left over, right? So you could redraw this as 1, 2, 3 groups of 10 with 2 toothpicks left over. So that's all we mean by that, is how to organize objects by probably bundling. If we had maybe a bigger number like 1200, so we had 1200 toothpicks lying on your desk, what would you do? Well, maybe what you would do would be to organize them into groups of hundreds. So you have 100, 100, 100, 100. These are groups of hundreds. And 10 of these groups of hundreds is going to be 1,000, right? And then here's the 2 more groups of hundreds to get to the 1200. So 10 groups of 100. Each of these groups has 10 groups of 10, right? And 2 more of these hundreds. So just trying to show how you bundle things up. And maybe you remember doing that when you were a little kid in elementary school, where the teacher would use straws and bundle the straws up with rubber bands to show you how to organize your numbers. How about expanded form? How do I write a number like 1,234.6789 in expanded form? So remember our base 10 system, how it's configured. You have thousands, you have 100,000, 10,000, 1,000, 100, tens, ones. So what's happening as you go from left to right? You're dividing by 10, dividing by 10, dividing by 10, right? As you go across, and you finally go from the ones to the tenths, to the hundredths, to the thousandths. You're dividing by 10 as you go to the right. As you go from right to left, you're multiplying by 10. If you're going from thousands to hundreds, you're multiplying by 10. If you're going from hundreds to tenths, you're multiplying by 10, right? So what do they mean when they say write this big number here in expanded form? Basically, all you're doing is you're taking each number and seeing, like, the 1 is in the thousandths place, right? The 2 is in the hundred place. The 3 is in the 10 place. The 4 is in the 1 place. The 6, now you're going to the right of the decimal point, is the 1/10ths place. The 7 is in the hundredths place. The 8's in the 1,000ths place, and the 9's in the 10,000ths. You can also write it in this exponential notation, where 1,000 is 10 to the third, 100 is 10 squared, 10 is 10 to the 1, right? If you think about it, 1 is like 10 to the 0, right? Because anything to the 0 is 1. Then when we get to the right of the decimal point, 1/10 is written as 10 to the negative 1, 1/100th is 10 to the negative 2. So you could also write it like that. So either one of these formats is acceptable. In this case, they give you the expanded form and they want you to write it as a base 10, like what we're used to, a regular number. So basically, you just have to look at the powers on the tens. So 10 to the 4th is a 1 with 4 zeros after it, right? So that's a 10,000. So it's 3 times 10,000 plus 2 times 10 to the 1, that's 2 times 10, right? 4 times 10 to the 0, remember we said anything to the 0 is 1, so that's 4 times 1. Plus 5 times 10 to the negative 3, it's 1 over a 1 with 3 zeros, or 1,000ths. And 8 times 10 to the negative 6, it's 1 over 1 with 6 zeros, that's a 1,000,000th. So when you add those up, you get this number right here. Okay, so hopefully that helps review some of the material that we covered in this section. Thanks.